Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rudi and thank you so much for being here when you could be so many other places. I am really excited about this video. I know I say that every time, but I'm particularly excited about this video because I'm just going to flap my jaws for the next however long this is. Hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, who knows? My husband's not home, the dogs are asleep, and she's drinking her root beer poppy, which is definitely in my 2024 ins from my ins and out list. One of you guys said that the ladybugs in my house are probably some other type of bug and that they're mean as hell and they bite, and they're just, I see them, and since you said that, when I'm doing my makeup and I see them, I flick them with the back end of my brush. I don't kill them. I just flick them, okay? They're getting on my nerves, and I feel like one's gonna land in my drink like it did last time, which if you know, you know. So today's video, I thought it would be fun to go over what I think is going to be trending in the beauty world for 2024. I thought this would be a fun idea because I wanted to see if next year, by the time we're done with like our favorites and flops and everything, that we can go through this list and see if we were right. Some of these came from you guys. I asked you guys on my Instagram. It's at the Rudi Berry. On my broadcast channel, I asked you guys for what you guys thought your predictions for 2024 would be. Obviously, some of them are already starting to happen and we'll talk about them, but I have some bold ideas for the year. I have some, you know, that are kind of mixing in from 2023, and I just thought it would be fun to do it together. So if that's interesting to you, you wanna see what's trending, you kind of like being a part of trends. I hate to say it, but I do. I consider myself to be trendy in some capacity, and it's not that I necessarily like following trends, but I do like playing around with my look. I'll say that. I like dyeing my hair. I like wearing different types of makeup. I like to play with my look and mess it up and mix it up, whether it's with fashion, nails, hair, makeup. It's fun to me. And so to me, the trends that come and go give me a chance to kind of try on new things in my life and pick up things here and there and keep them, or just try them for a short time and send them on their way. So I thought this would be fun together. So if you are interested, don't forget to subscribe. We talk about skincare, makeup, body care, hair care. We kind of do it all, and we're like old YouTube with new makeup, and I would love to have you subscribe. I'm looking in the viewfinder and I'm feeling very non-blushy. I just did a video for TikTok where I was using all of the viral products from the year and wearing them. So let's put on a little blush. I am going to put on the blush in Chili from Say. They're Dew blushes. I like these. They're kind of having a resurgence right now. I like these, but I don't find them to wear super well because they are a little greasy. But they are releasing 3 new shades to the line, I think this month, and one of them is that limited edition shade in Baby that everybody loved. I didn't like it that much. I didn't feel like it showed up on my skin at all, and I don't see how it could show up on that many other skin tones if it won't show up on me, but not everything is for me. And now I've put on way too much, and I went from looking just like kissed by blush to she went ahead and be wearing like 3 layers, and that's fine, and that's fine. Whenever that happens, I take my, do you see them? Do you see those ladybugs flying around? Get out of here. I take my foundation brush and I just pat over the whole area just to help blend it in a little bit. Anyways, I'm parched and I haven't even started the damn video. You know how when like on TV, like a dad comes home and he's like, has to have his beer right when he comes home? That's me with my root beer. That's me with my root beer. I can't breathe without having a poppy root beer almost every single day. And I asked my friend if this was aspartame and she said it wasn't, so I feel okay about it. Don't tell me in the comments I shouldn't have it. It's the one thing I have. It's the one thing I have. Let me have it. Okay, let's start, shall we? These predictions are coming from my head from what I like to call market research, which is where I get on TikTok and watch it for like an hour. And I tell my husband that it's part of my job. Because it is, I need to know what's happening, what songs are trending, what people are wearing on their face so that I can make sure that I'm creating the right content for you guys. So I feel like I have a good handle on what I think is coming based on what I've seen launch and also what I've seen trending online. We're gonna start with some hair. So the first thing that I am thinking is going to happen, which I'm not currently doing, is I think because we have done the slick back now for over a year, that people are going to start prioritizing wearing their hair down and wearing it as like big and bouncy and voluminous as they can. And I feel like my reasoning behind that comes from seeing the popularity of Dyson over the past year. I feel like a $500 to $700 hair care hair item is something that would never cross my mind if I was in high school or even college. The fact that I bought myself one, it took me months to save up the money to buy it. And now people buy them as if they have their Revlon One Step. Like everyone has a Dyson, and the fact that people care enough about their hair and to get a good blowout, they're spending that much money. I just think it's going to be the direction that we're going now that almost everyone, it feels like, has some sort of blowout tool, whether it's the Dyson or the Shark. But also because the pendulum always swings when it comes to things. We've had the hair slicked back now for a year. People want to let it out, including me. I like to wear my hair up when it's been a couple days, and I never really knew how to style it. And now that I do, I feel comfortable with it being down more often. I got a haircut recently, which we'll talk about as our next item, and I just feel like I want to have a voluminous blowout if my hair is not up. So I think it's gonna be kind of one or the other. Like you're either gonna have beautiful bouncy blowout hair or it's gonna be up. And I've already started to see that trend happen this year, which, speaking of another hair trend slash prediction that I think we're going to get, is everyone is growing out their bobs. So if you were not around, which I feel like I have to show you this because part of the trends here are going to be about this product and this movie. Yeah, Jacob Elordi's bathwater candle. My best friend bought me this for Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day's not for a month, but she saw it and she knew it was for me. If you don't know what this is, I encourage you to watch the movie Saltburn, which we'll get into also with predictions. But this is a disgusting, freaky thing to own, and I'm absolutely obsessed. And 2024 for me is the year of being a feral rat woman, and that really ties into that. So anyways, just know that that's going during this video. Back to the point. Girls are growing out their bobs, including me. I cut my hair into a bob 2 Decembers ago. The end of 2022, I cut my hair into a bob. I've had the bob now for a year. I've continued to keep up with the bob, and I just feel that personally, I felt like it was time for me to start to grow it out, and I'm noticing a lot of other people sort of hopping on that idea. They had fun with the bob and now they're ready to kind of move on. With the growth of people growing out their bobs, I think we're gonna see a lot of different iterations of different hairstyles, and they will of course all have a name, which is another thing we're gonna talk about. I definitely think that the haircuts coming out of this year and the hairstyles and the makeup styles will continue to have names listed after them. So that's our third prediction of the year, is like things will continue to be named things that are annoying, but we're all gonna do it. For example, when I went and got my hair cut this past week, I wanted to add a little bit of layers and I wanted to get bangs, and the next thing I know, I get online and Women's Wear Daily is calling that cut the kitty cut, okay? Which is basically just like a Farrah Fawcett haircut. It's not a wolf cut all the way, but it's like more layered around the face. So they're calling it a kitty cut. And every single thing we do for the next year is going to have a name to it, because that started in 2023, but we're at the peak of it in 2024, of everything having a name. Makeup looks especially, haircuts especially, nails especially, which we'll get into nails. We had the blueberry milk nails this year. It was like the first one that kind of hit the market like that. The chocolate glaze, like Hailey Bieber did the glaze nails, that caught on. Then we had the strawberry girl look, the sugar plum look, the tomato girl look, of which I did all of them. Personally, I don't have an issue with that because it kind of helps you try, like I said at the beginning of the video, it helps you try new things without going out of your way to try and figure it out on your own. It gives you inspiration to try something new, maybe a new product or a new style. And I honestly have nothing against that. So to me, I kind of like it. I know a lot of people are annoyed by it, but it's like, just let people be. Let people have their fun and call their things whatever they want. It's not hurting anyone, and it can be a little bit fun and help you get out of your comfort zone. Which, speaking of Hailey Bieber, we mentioned her a lot so far in this video because the thing is, she was the it girl for 2023, and I think that she will be in 2024 as well, although we are really seeing Miss Sabrina Carpenter coming up as sort of the girl of the moment. People are following her makeup routines. People are loving, I love her music. I think she's beautiful. She has a really unique sense of style that kind of reminds me of early Ariana Grande's career, with the really long hair. She's got a specific hair look. She wears the same sort of coquette style outfits all the time, and I could see her really being the girl for 2024. With that being said, I've also noticed brands working with celebrities to promote their products, which is interesting and something that I don't know how I feel about it fully, because my job is a content creator full-time. I make 80% of the money that I make from doing sponsorship deals with brands, and a lot of the brands that I love and I've worked with in the past, I've noticed that they are working with Sabrina, Hailey, Sophia Richie, sort of the it girls of the moment. So for example, I noticed this last year, Hailey Bieber did a couple ads with Milk makeup, and I can only imagine how much money it must cost for them to work with her. But in my head, I'm sure they see it as, okay, instead of us working with Rudi and 100 other girls her size, and then the trend being, you know, slowly reaching up to the top and Hailey doing it, we might as well just pay the money now, have Hailey start whatever it is, the trend, the makeup, and then everyone else will fall in line and we'll make our money up. So I get where they're coming from by wanting to work with girls who have a lot of influence and less creators and more celebrities, but it is a little, you know, disappointing for me because we don't get as much of a chance to get in on those deals because so much money is being put into working with a specific celebrity instead of sort of spreading it out across the industry. So the first one I noticed was Hailey Bieber and Milk, and of course it was not properly disclosed. None of them are. Then I saw Sophia Richie and Hourglass, and I was laughing so hard because in this picture, it's literally 2 pictures on Instagram. If I can find it, I will put it in. She is like across the fucking field from the camera, and it's for, I think, like a skin tint. You cannot see her, can't see her wearing it, and you can't see what it looks like. However, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna tell her, no, you need to reshoot it? Probably not. Which is something that, again, like when I work with brands, if they have an issue with the way that the ad has turned out, they can ask for a reshoot, things like that. They probably don't do that with these celebs, and that's why sometimes these ads turn out so goofy. Referring to Gwyneth Paltrow when she did her ad with Seed. Seed is a probiotic brand. It's something that I take every day, and she did an ad with them where literally someone is vacuuming in the background, and she's like, this stuff's great, and she like has it in her teeth, and she's like, yeah, I love it. And that was it. And I'm like, you paid for that. You paid for Gwyneth Paltrow to do that, but you know what? It worked because people got to talking about it. People wanted to hear about the brand. They thought it was silly, and it just kind of built this, you know, conversation around the brand, which all press is good press in that way. And then lastly, I noticed recently Sabrina Carpenter, as I mentioned, was working with NYX Cosmetics, which is a drugstore brand. I was really shocked to see that because usually when you see a celebrity working with a brand, it is usually a higher end or luxury brand. So to have Sabrina Carpenter partnering with NYX, I thought that was really cool. However, it was not disclosed properly at all, and she was using their lip oils, which I absolutely love. But again, they're probably paying a lot for her to do that instead of paying creators. So I'd love to get your take on that, what you think about it, and if you trust that they actually use those products, because Sabrina Carpenter ended up doing a what's in my makeup bag video, and nothing from NYX was in that video, I don't believe. So you gotta take it with a grain of salt, I'll say that. Next up, we're just gonna talk about some random predictions that I have that are more specific to makeup and makeup like types and colors that I think are going to have a moment. There's a huge portion of a type of product missing in the market that I could see more people getting into, and that is the stain. So we know that in the past couple years, the Benetint stains have really sort of had a resurgence. These have been around for years and years and years. They were actually, fun fact, originally created for nipples. Slay. If you have pale nipples, go ahead and be using your Benetint on them. But stains have really become more prevalent since then, and also are something that Korean beauty brands have been making for years and trying to find like the best way to make them. So I love stain products. So partially this is me saying I hope that this happens, and also I think it's going to happen. We can see that it started happening a little bit with the Rare Beauty lip oils, which are Korean lip stains, by the way. I would not consider these to be a traditional lip oil in any way, and if they would have marketed them as hydrating lip stains, I feel like they would have done even better. Similar with the Fenty lip stains, these are the same formula, and they're both of those products are made in Korea. And then we also saw some stain style products coming out this year, like the lip liner stain from Sachu Beauty. This is a Korean made product, again, where you put it on and then you peel it off of the lips and it leaves a stain. There was a huge popularity with this thing called like the Wonder Lips, where it's blue and you peel it off, which was a little kitschy. I didn't think it was fun, but there was only a few products like that that started to become popular, and just recently it's been more of a lip liner stain. So my favorite are from Stila. I really like these. They have a very interesting applicator to them as well. But I just noticed that CoverGirl actually came out with a few. These are just considered to be lip stains. They're not considered to be lip liner stains, but they have a pretty thin applicator, so you could use them as lip liners. They don't last quite as well as some of the other ones that I've tried, but they are inexpensive and they are at the drugstore. So with the, you know, sort of popularity of those, I am just seeing it, I'm seeing it more. I'm seeing more cheek stains. I'm seeing more lip stains. I'm seeing people wanting to have to do less to have their makeup wear longer. So that is one of my guesses for 2023 and our 2024, and I hope that it happens. Okay, so my last makeup style prediction that I have is related to my Saltburn candle that I just showed you, my Jacob Elordi's bathwater. Because in Saltburn, there's a character, and her name is Venetia. First of all, this movie is set in 2010, which already to me is like a sign that the 2010s are back, because usually movies that are set in 2010 are like either comedies or they're just kind of like kitschy. But this was a serious film made in 2010. And so they were very accurate about the trends and the looks that people had. And it has really inspired a lot of people and has really connected with the trend forecasting in fashion that the 2010s are going to be back because of just where we're at in the trend cycle, where we typically go 10 to 20 years behind and we recycle those trends. So because of that, I am seeing in my mind's eye, and I've already seen it on TikTok in this year, that people want to go a little more grungy. They want to have a little more mess to their makeup. They want to kind of be the antithesis of the clean girl look by adding in maybe some black in the waterline, maybe a charcoal eye. Instead of going so clean girl, neutrals and pinks, we're craving a little bit more of something dark and sinister and fun. Maybe not as 2016 as doing a full beat, maybe something just a little smudgy and edgy that's still easy to do but gives you a little bit more color. So I've been doing this as well myself. I am wearing a little bit of a charcoal shade in my waterline, and I've been doing that to sort of amp up the style of my eye makeup. Sometimes I'll add a little on the top and smudge it out. This is my favorite shade to do it with. This is Dimensional Dark Brown from Makeup Forever. I think that this is more of like a charcoal shade than it is a brown. It's got a little bit of a cool toned undertone to it, and it just lasts all day in the waterline if that's something that you want to try. I also recommend looking at this particular eyeshadow palette from M Cosmetics. It's called the Divine Skies palette, and it is a full cool toned palette with a few browns, some neutral grays, and a really pretty shimmer on top. So I do think that those colors are just gonna be back. So in tandem with that, if you are a cool toned person, this is your year. I really think that brands are gonna be launching cooler toned products when it comes to lip launches, cheek launches. We're just in general gonna be seeing a lot more mauves, grays, just things that pull a little bit cooler and are sort of the antithesis of the clean, like bronze girl aesthetic, which of course that will always be there. And I'm not saying by giving you these recommendations and trends that I don't think that people will still wear those looks, because I will wear bronze when I want. I'll do the clean girl look when I want. I'll do whatever. But I do think in general, for launches, I think we're gonna see cooler tones. Especially because this year so many brands dropped colors like this. They were some of the best sellers in their lines, and I think that the brands, if I was a brand, I would be surprised to see that these really dark, plummy, purple, cool toned shades were getting a lot of buzz and attention this year. So I just think that we're gonna keep going in that direction. Speaking of makeup, there were two sort of predictions that I have that I do think are going to continue, that have started in 2023 and will be even bigger this year. And that is skincare brands making makeup and makeup brands making skincare, because it is a way to reinvigorate your audience in a way that you are opening up to more people. So a huge example of that of the past year has been Summer Fridays. They actually just launched another makeup product. They just launched a lip oil in 4 different shades. I have them. They're absolutely gorgeous. I think I have a short on these up, and they're beautiful. And that is like a continuation of adding more, not just more shades of makeup, but adding more actual makeup products to their line, where eventually Summer Fridays might be a makeup brand first and then a skincare brand second. I also think that's gonna happen with Glow Recipe. Although they are mostly a skincare brand at this point, they've started to dip their toes by adding in primers, lip products, things like that. I just see more coming from them. And I think that those sort of brands are just gonna start to meld into making everything. A great example of that is Saltaire. Saltaire is a brand that is under the Center Brands, which but they incubate for Naturium, Make Beauty, Saltaire, Fleur, and Prequel, which we'll talk about. Naturium was was just sold, so I don't think they're with them anymore. But Saltaire started as a hair care brand? No. Body care? No. So like I can't even remember what it started as. I think it was body washes. I think they started with body washes, and then they went into lotions, and then they went into hair care, and then now they just released these lip oils. So I mean, that covers a huge spectrum. At this point, they're only missing skincare focus, and they could easily do that. So I just think brands are gonna start releasing whatever the hell they want and not being so pinpoint about it matching things, and more letting the trends decide what their roadmap looks like. Same with makeup brands. I think makeup brands who have gone out of their way to just, they have everything they could possibly have, they're gonna start making skincare products, which in my opinion never do as good as the other way around. But it's just what I see. Like MAC just created an entire skincare line to go along with their makeup. Rare Beauty is about to create a skincare line to go with their makeup. People just, and brands just want to monopolize on as much as they can in-house, and it's really easy to make things these days. And I just think brands are gonna come out with everything, every single thing. But speaking of the center brands and Prequel and Naturium, I think that we will continue seeing more dermatologists and TikTok skincare influencers creating their own brands. I think that incubators like the Center or people who are high dollar investors are going to invest in these people to continue to create skincare lines with them, because people really, really trust them. For example, people really trust, let's say, Dr. Dre. And so if she were to create a line of skincare, all of her followers would feel automatically like they could trust it because they trust her so much. So it's just a built-in audience right away who's going to purchase your product, especially when it comes to skincare. People are very emotionally attached to the way that they feel about their skin, especially if it's a negative connotation. So people will spend any amount of money to feel like their skin is going to be better, and they really trust a lot of these people online. So for example, Dr. Sam Ellis, who owns Prequel, people are foaming at the mouth for her products. I think they're very good. I honestly do. I don't love every single one, but I would say at most people online have nothing negative to say about that brand because they really trust her. So I do think that's going to continue to happen, and we'll see more dermatologist run brands that will sort of have to beat out the CeraVe's and the La Roche-Posay's of the world, and they probably will, at least in terms of online attention. Okay, this video is getting long, so I want to finish with two things that I think are absolutely nail will happen. This will happen in 2024 / is already happening. Press-on nails. I cannot sing the praises of press-on nails enough. I have talked to you guys about them every month since I started wearing them. I started my press-on journey in May of 2023, and I would say at that time nobody was really wearing press-ons in the way that they are now. In the past 6 months, especially the past 3 months, press-ons have really blown up because of how easy they are, how inexpensive they are, and how much better they've gotten in general. I feel like people used to associate press-ons with really ugly designs, and now you can get anything you want in a press-on. For example, a lot of people don't like press-ons because they associate them with being really long. I'm wearing press-ons right now. These are the minis from Quickies, which is my favorite press-on brand. I have a collaboration collection with them. If you're interested, I'll leave it down below. I created 6 different nails with them, and spoiler alert, I might be doing it again. I love these so much. I didn't think I was going to love these short length because I love having long nails, but I've had so much fun with them. Like, you can really do whatever you want with press-ons, and they're pretty inexpensive compared to what you would get at a salon. When I used to do Gel X at home, it would take me hours, like 3 hours. To do my nails now, it takes me 10 to 15 minutes. I can get them to last for up to 3 weeks if I prep properly, and I just love being able to change them out when I want to. So I am a huge fan of press-ons, and I highly recommend you try some out if you haven't yet in 2024. And my last prediction for 2024, it has to do with perfume. I think that perfume really blew up this past year. So many people got more interested in finding a signature scent, and like they were falling into like the purchasing habits that we used to have for makeup with fragrance. And I would say a big portion of that is because of the brand Fleur. Fleur is a amazing fragrance brand. I would say it is the fragrance brand of the moment. It's also under the Center brands. So the Center brands is doing really, really well. They have Saltaire, Fleur, Make Beauty, Prequel. I mean, they're just really killing it. Fleur, they've done such a good job of coming out with really unique scents over the last year, but I think what's really put them over the top in terms of popularity has been their most recent launch of their body and hair mists, which is my prediction for 2024. I think every major fragrance brand is going to come out with hair and body mists, similar to what we used to do when we were getting Victoria's Secret body sprays when we were in high school, and how we had like 100 of them, Bath and Body Works body sprays, and we just wanted to get as many as we could because they were fairly inexpensive, but you could spray them on all day long. We've seen the teens and the tweens really getting into Sol de Janeiro with that. I love Sol de Janeiro. I have a lot of the body scents, but I will say, as I'm getting older, I am gravitating towards more mature scents that are vanillic and soft and really just well-rounded. And I do think that the Sol de Janeiros are more of a nighttime kind of fun, fruity type of vibe. And sometimes I just want to feel like a 30-year-old woman, which is where Fleur came in with their 3 body mists, including my favorite, which was Vanilla Skin. It's a really mature, beautiful, soft vanilla that just, it smells so good. And because of that, I think other brands are going to release more mature body mists that us 30-year-olds and millennials will be interested in buying, because we already have an obsession with body mists ingrained in us from when we were kids. That was a lot, and I have even more, but we'll save it. We'll save it for another time. I'll sprinkle in some of my predictions as we go throughout the year. I do have a prediction that this year will be the year of big, my friend Hannah's gonna laugh at me for this, big earrings, no necklace. I have been kind of saying that and spreading it around town to my friends. I've been like, oh, I hear the year 2024 is the year of big earrings, no necklace. And they're like, where'd you hear this? And I'm like, me, I made it up. So I am starting the trend of big earrings, no necklace this year. But lots of rings, chunky earrings, no necklace. We're doing mixed metals. That is my trend that I'm starting right here, right now. Do it. I love you guys. I hope that this video was really fun for you. I would love to hear what your predictions are in the comments. Honestly, any and all predictions, I'm down to hear them. I think it's so interesting. I'm excited to see, you know, how these unfold over the next year. I am going to New York, say it with me, Manhattan, for my mascara that is launching on Valentine's Day. So I may be taking a week break sometime in January while I'm there, but I am going to vlog while I'm there. So I'll have a ton of content for us to talk about when I get back. So I'll either see you next week or in a couple weeks. But I love you so much. I hope you had fun in this video, and I will see you very soon. Bye.